Welcome to the September edition of Image Update. Today we have Richard talking about September products as well as highlights from the corporate office second quarter update meeting. You might remember that 3 months ago we had highlights from the first quarter corporate office meeting. This is a continuation of that process, and every quarter we will bring you highlights of that meeting, which gets you up to date on things that are happening at the corporate office that definitely affect the company and your store. Now, here's Richard.
Welcome to another Sharper Image Update, and this is my favorite part because I get to share my enthusiasm with you for some of the new products that are coming out. Before I start, can I quickly mention something I want to try, which is that you may have noticed on the first page of the catalog every month, there's an email address where I invite customers to email me. It's always right here underneath my picture and my signature. And that address is in there. It's like richard@sharperimage.com. You can find it in any catalog every month. Just pick it up and look at that email address. So here's the point I'm trying to make. You know, I get about 5 or 10 comments every day from customers emailing me to share some thought about our business. Something we could do better, something they like, something they don't like, something we're stupid about, something we're brilliant about. Well, I think it's weird that I don't hear any comments from you. You probably know better than our customers some insights into our business. So I would actually enjoy if you would like to send me an email sharing your thoughts about our business. The only caveat to make this work is you have to realize that I will not respond to many of the messages. I'll read them all, though, and I'll pass many of them along to other people in our company. So feel free to say whatever you want. If it's critical or if it's positive, I don't care. I just would like to hear what your thoughts are. Do me a favor, though, and don't feel hurt if you don't get a personal response from me, just because it'll make it a lot more fun for me if I can just read lots of these comments and not worry about having to get a response back. Okay, a few products. Here's a product that's sort of an improved version of something we used to sell in the past called the Dynabee. This is really a fun product. Now it's got a little string attached to it, so you can put it on your wrist so it won't fly away. You hold it like this. When we used to sell the old one, I could never get it to work. Now it seems like they've improved it. What you do is you take this and you spin it, and you get it going like this, and you learn how to do the hand motion. And you're going to hear this on the mic pretty soon as this gyro spins up. And you can see, even I can do it. So it must not be that hard to do. And this thing gets to where you can hardly hold the darn thing. I mean, it's really powerful. It's a lot of fun. Use it for golf, tennis, any sport where you have to build hand and wrist motion. Boy, this thing is spinning so fast. Can you hear that? And you saw how easy it was for me to start it. And I mean, I'm incompetent at this, so you'll get really good at it. This is a very fun, nice product, easy sell to make. Okay, one product that's come back in a better form from about 5 years ago is called the Stunt Watch. The Stunt Watch is unique. It's about the toughest watch in the entire world. It will take about 4,000 pounds of pressure, 2 tons. It's a man's watch or an oversized woman's watch, very sporty. Not the least expensive watch in the world. It's over $100, but it is probably the most durable watch in the world, called the Stunt Watch. It's got a great catalog picture. This product I'm really excited about. This is the new PDA organizer. PDA stands for Personal Digital Assistant. You notice that this is a case with straps. Here's the strap. Here's a place for your cellular phone. It's got the Sharper Image name embossed right there on the edge. And what's clever about this is when we open it up, you're going to see inside several really neat features. Nice leather, nice pulls. The most important feature, and why we call it the PDA organizer, is right here is a pocket that fits any of the new Wizards, Zoruses, Cassiopeias, Zions. It's a universal fit. And then on this side, you see you got a place for credit cards, magnetic discs, pens, pencils. So anybody that's interested in an organizer, here's a coin purse or miscellaneous, or anybody that owns an organizer, now we have a really nice universal fit, what we call a PDA leather organizer, to go with it. So for me, I'd put my cellular phone out here, I'd put my electronic organizer there, some credit cards over there. What a great, nice little product. And I think we're going to sell lots of these. I'm really enthusiastic about this. So think of this as a must-have for anybody that's already bought an organizer or is going to buy an organizer. A couple more products. Here's two cute ones. These are licensed guitars from Gibson Guitar. These were produced in association with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in a limited edition of 10,000 pieces each. And one is the guitar, this one here, that was played by John Lennon, and this is an exact replica. And the other is a guitar that was played by Elvis Presley. I'll just show you that these actually come out of the case, and they're actually little replicas. The case is just here to tell the story of the authenticity right here. You see the little certificate says, limited edition of 10,000, licensed from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by Gibson Guitar, the people that actually make the guitars. Now you will also have in some of your stores a Gibson Guitar neon clock, which will retail for about $400, which is a replica of an older Gibson Guitar neon clock that was actually in Gibson Guitar stores. So it's a little story. The real authentic reproduction license from Gibson Guitar of the neon clock, and the two little guitars with case that are a limited edition, numbered 10,000 collectible series, one the Elvis Presley guitar, one the John Lennon guitar. They're really well made for a pretty reasonable price, only $40 each. Okay, here's a very clever product. This is called the Micro Technician. Micro Technician is a little tiny tool. It comes in this clever little case, and it's only $20 retail. It's very well priced. Now, the idea here is that when you open this, you've got 5 tools. For me, 3 of them are the most important, so I'll just show you those. Phillips head screwdriver, flathead screwdriver, and then here, a little miniature pliers. Isn't that clever? There's also a wire cutter and a shear. Then the way you use this is when you turn the handles back up like this, after you close this section on your key ring, and stupid me, I don't have a key ring with me, but you close this on your key ring, then you turn the handles back and they lock it into place so that now this hole cannot open and it will stay on your key ring. So the idea is to take sort of like a Leatherman tool in a miniature version, put it on your key ring. So with you at all times, you've got a pliers, a flathead screwdriver, and a Phillips head screwdriver. And the name Micro Technician and the price $20, that's very clever. I mean, this is like about the easiest product to sell we've ever had. This is such an adorable product. Really well made. One of the most interesting cars we've ever had in our car case is this new one that's coming in this month. This is the Mercedes-Benz A-Class. It's really cute and funny looking. This is their new people's car that's going to give you the interior room of the E-Class Mercedes. That's the mid-size Mercedes, in a size and shape that's as short as the old Volkswagen Beetle. They've done this very cleverly. It's really a fantastic car. It's supposed to retail for around $10,000 or $12,000 in the real thing. Of course, our price will be substantially lower. You won't see this in America for a couple of years, but you can see it in the SHRP image this month. The last product I want to talk about today is the key ring with timer and light. Now you're thinking to yourself, hold it, that's strange. It says key seeker on it, and it's got a blue button. Well, we used to sell, and we still do sell, a key seeker that has a red button on it, and it's called a key seeker. So it's a little confusing, folks. But let me clear it up so we'll all be on the same plate here. Same exact case, same exact logo, key seeker. That's the brand of the product. But this product is not the one that responds to your clapping. You can tell because it's got a blue button here instead of a red button, and it's a lower price than the key seeker. It's a step-down model. It has 2 of the features of the original. It's got the flashlight, and it's got the timer. The timer and the flashlight are identical to the previous key seeker. It has no key seeker function. It is a key ring, it is a timer, it is a flashlight. Other people sell products like this for $20 or more. Ours will be more competitively priced than that. So I think it's a nice little product. It was easy for us to add to the line. You'll recognize it because of the blue button instead of the red button. Don't get confused. It says key seeker on it. Think of that as a brand name. This is a key ring with timer and light. You know, we are on a terrific trend right now. We've had a wonderful August in terms of comp store statistics. I think we're doing a real good job with products and with selling. I need your help so much. We are going to have a terrific fourth quarter. We have so many exciting products. I cannot wait until next month's image update to continue talking with you about them. But I need your help. You know, everybody that walks in is a potential customer. Sometimes it's easy to go over and make that sale. Sometimes we've got to sort of, get ourselves going. I need your help. I want to keep that double-digit comp increase going. Please, let's do that. Let's make September absolutely fantastic. Thanks.
It's been 3 months since our last quarterly update, and a lot has happened in the last 3 months when you think about it. Stock market has reached all-new all-time high. A spaceship has landed on Mars and took pictures. UPS went out on strike and came back from strike, and Mike Tyson had lunch with Vander Holyfield. Most importantly, though, is our comp store business went from consistent declines to a 1.1% increase in July, and as of yesterday, a 9.7% increase for the month of August. And that is fantastic news. So congratulations to everyone in this room. I think that's just great. If you liken the first half of our year to, let's say, the first half of a football game, we may have been down the first half, but at halftime, I think we've come roaring back. And so in the month of August, we're now looking at almost a 10% comp store increase, with the really third and fourth quarter of the game still to go. And that is very encouraging. And I think we're going to talk today a little bit about the first half and a post-mortem on that, but more importantly, what we're looking at in the second half of the year. And I think you'll be as excited as I am. But like every team, we need to make every sale count. All the blocking and tackling have to be done. We have to listen as well as possible to our customers, deliver our projects on time, and really work together as a team. But I must tell you that in some ways, business is not like a football game, and it's not at the end of the fourth quarter, the game is over. Because in business, we continue on, and even though the scores get posted at the end of the year or at the end of the game, our business still goes on, our customers still come back, and all the things that we do today, whether that's improving our systems, whether that's buying merchandise for December, January, February, improvements we make to our catalog, these are all things that will have an impact on 1997, but 1998, 1999, and beyond. So all the progress that we've made, I think, has enormous impact for the future. And that's very important, so that as we see business getting better today, we can extrapolate that business will also get better in 98 and 99. So there's more benefit than just today's sales results. And I'd like to just talk about some of that improvements and progress that we've made in the last 3 to 6 months. And I say we because it's really a result of your efforts. The team is really here, is put together, and is raring to go. And I think that's very, very helpful. I think we've made considerable progress in running our business smarter. And you know, there's always a challenge to run your business, run harder or run smarter. And I think you guys are probably running as hard as you can. And the real improvements to our business will come as we run our business smarter. We've identified key gross margin elements that we can improve upon. As you'll see in the financial analysis later, that part of our earnings miss in the first half were a function of our gross margin. And if we can really fix that, patch that, and get that in the right direction, that'll have a significant impact to the success of the company. We've set new parameters for our corporate marketing department, which will enable us to make more profit. And we're working on some systems, whether they're planning and allocation systems and open-to-buy systems, that will allow us to buy, sell, and provide the right product at the right time in the right stores, which obviously has a big impact to our business. We've made progress in gross margin, and well, it was not yesterday, but Sunday, for the first time since March of this year, our inventory gross margin was above the prior year. And what that means is, if you want to sell something and make a profit, and we record our profit when the sale is made, but if the inventory that we own, we don't own favorably, every time we sell it, we may make or not make as much money as the prior year. So today, finally, our inventory we own in a better ratio than we did last year. So that means we will start to see increases in our gross margin percent as we sell from now on. So that's very encouraging, and we've been kind of behind the 8 ball for the year. Another great, I guess, milestone is we set out to grow our home business. Our home collection was started last year. We set out a very aggressive plan for 1997, and as of, I guess, mid-year, we're 283% ahead of plan. That's fabulous. So we've accomplished a very aggressive plan, and are even going to grow that more in the second half. So all these are great new developments that I think we should be proud of and encouraged by. Lastly, as I mentioned earlier, this month is our best month to date. We're running almost 10% ahead, and that's in spite of the UPS strike, which really impacted not only our delivery to stores, it affected a little bit of the consumer psychology. People were, well, you know, maybe I won't shop, or you know, I'll wait till the strike is over. So we have a very good month. It's almost over, but it looks like it's going to come out very well, in spite of some external issues. Now, everything is not rosy, or else we'd be having mimosas in the morning and dancing on chairs. We'll save that for January, February. We didn't execute everything perfectly all season long. So we have some work to do, and Tracy will go over some of the financials on that. But we've missed some key areas which we're aware of, whether it's having enough inventory in the stores, whether it's our gross margin plans, but we're working on a lot of key issues which we recognize and I think are all fixable. You know, one of the nice things about having problems is that those problems can really be opportunities if you can overcome them. If we had a name like Montgomery Ward's, there's not a lot you can do to that. And a lot of people tried to fix Montgomery Ward's. They couldn't fix it because there were some real you know, systemic problems with that business, and they went Chapter 11. That's not our problem. We have a very healthy business. We have a great name, and all our problems are fixable and are opportunities for us in the next 6 months. So if I was enthusiastic and wide-eyed and optimistic about our future 6 months ago, I'm still every bit as optimistic, every bit as enthusiastic, a little grayer, but that comes. And I think we're going to have a great second half, and we're going to pull out this year. And that's really going to be a team effort. And I know everyone here is going to give their all, and we'll make it happen. So I look forward to our next quarterly update, where we can do a little bit more celebrating in anticipation of a fourth quarter.
My part in today's presentation is to just share a few thoughts with you on what's happening from my point of view, and give a little bit different perspective. I get the luxury, I don't have to worry about planning anything intelligently. I can just sort of muck around and think about the exciting part of the new products and the new creative and the catalog and the trends that we're experiencing in our business. And based on my experience, which goes back really longer than anybody's, 20 years, I can feel so easily the trends in our business and what we are doing right and what we need to do better. And I just want to share that observation with you. You know, 77 was the first year we actually started as the Sharper Image. So 97 is 20 years and about 4 months. 77 through 88 were really good years. Every year pretty much the business grew, made more money, encountered more success. So that was about 11 years. Then 89, 90, 91 were sort of tough. Losses 2 of those years. 92, 93, 94 were on the upswing again. So if you add those 3 to the previous 11, that's 14. Out of the 20 years, things felt really good and positive. Then in 95 and 96, for a number of different reasons, we didn't have a great result. It was okay. I mean, in a sense, we've had a great result, because now, 20 years later, I can honestly say without any reservations, I think, that our reputation is really great. People love the Sharper Image right now. Whereas in 1990, that wasn't necessarily true. Now, that was the year that Donald Trump was being trashed, and everybody goes, oh, you know, the 80s are over, and Trump's over, and the Sharper Image is over. But yet, 20 years and 6 months later, gee, we're the Sharper Image, and we stand for the concept of what we do practically throughout the world. So in many respects, we've had a great 20 years. But let's get back to more of the microcosm of the ups and the downs, because that's what affects each of our lives. When our company's doing well financially and we're on the uptrend, it makes it so much better for all of us, because quite frankly, we can afford to pay better raises, give bonuses, do whatever we do, put more money in the profit sharing. We can do all those things when we're on the upside of the cycle. So you want to work here, most importantly, I think, when we're on the upside of the cycle. I mean, I appreciate that you stay here on the downside, but it's so much more fun to be here on the upside. And I am here to tell you, this is the start of the upside again. We started working on it when Barry joined us, and I got re-energized because I just woke up one morning and said, I'm so tired of being on the downside of the cycle after 95 and 96. And we've been, you know, working like beavers now for about 6 months, and it's beginning to pay off. And the best trend indicator, quite frankly, has just been the catalog sales starting to pick up and the comp store sales starting to pick up. And the last 30 days have been a splendid result in those comp store sales. And it's not a secret why this is happening. It's a combination of about three or four or five things. The 3 most important being advertising well, having the right products, and us coordinating our efforts so that we execute well. And we happen to be doing those things much better the last 6 months. We're a business that's a little bit more like a movie company or a toy business, in the sense that we definitely have years where we have terrific results because we have terrific product and we execute well, and we have years that are not so stellar because we're very much a product-driven business. And we happen to be coming into a terrific cycle right now. And I say that because what I see is the combination of good catalog presentations, good advertising, good products, in this combination of execution. So what Barry and I and Craig and the executive committee and the management committee have decided to do is press our advantage this fall. And we will be, for the first time in about 2 years, spending more money on advertising, generating more orders, buying more inventory, and the net result of that is, if it all works, is a boatload of work for everybody to coordinate all this, because there's just going to be a crush of mail orders. I predict, we'll see, but I predict we will be very pleasantly surprised by the amount of work, both in the stores and the mail order, but that will also create extra work in every area, whether it's coping with allocation, or whether it's coping with customer relations problems, or whether it's getting materials to stores or keeping up with whatever. It's going to be a lot of work because we're going to really press our advantage. Being an entrepreneurial company, it's really fun when things are going well to take a little bit of a chance and press forward with extra expenditures, extra advertising, extra inventory, and I bet you anything it's going to work real well. I can just feel that.
The first thing we want to do is go back to our first quarterly meeting, and something that we announced at that meeting was a fantasy holiday gift idea contest. And the reason for that is because we have absolutely found that by putting incredibly interesting, outrageous products in the catalogs, we draw a lot of attention. We can use those to build on our image, build on our name. We can take them to shows like David Letterman. And basically, they cause a lot of conversation. And so today what we'd like to do is announce the winner of the fantasy contest and tell you what that product is. So the winner of that contest is Melinda Anthony of the Pittsburgh store. And we would like to introduce our Tyrannosaurus Rex $6,000 1/5 scale dinosaur. Melinda will be receiving a $500 gift certificate from the SHRP Image, and she will be receiving this poster to put in her store to show her as a winner. And this product is going to be featured in the November catalog. It's a $6,000 dinosaur. So for your backyard or anyone else's backyard, it can be drop shipped directly from the vendor to the customer.
We asked the organization for comments and questions and concerns on your mind, and this time, like last, we would like to reply to some of those comments and just talk about some of the things that you guys are thinking about.
Here's an actual card somebody sent in. Next time you set up an anonymous suggestion box, lose the camera trained on it. Hold it. How will we know who put the suggestion in the anonymous box though without the camera? I think it's there so no one will steal the box, actually. For this, I want to have a few people step forward. Michael, would you step forward? And Bill Tanzer, will you step forward? And Mark, going to step forward? Okay. Stand right here in front. Come here, right here. Okay. Well, you guys stay right there. Okay. The question is, do you believe your employees, stand up here, Bill. Do you believe your employees are equal? It wasn't answered at the last meeting. Okay, are Bill and I equal? No. Quite frankly, we're not. Bill works a lot harder than I do. Has a lot more energy, gets a lot more done every day, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you. Mark, too. Okay. Are Mark and I equal? No. Well, you're a better wrestler than I am. And quite frankly, your enthusiasm and imagination are tremendously appreciated. And every day we have a meeting at SHRP Image Design, and you come up with ideas. I'm totally impressed and very appreciative.
the best one. Are Michael and I equal? No. The guy can sing. I can't sing at all. The guy is the best dressed guy in the company. And every time I see him, I'm totally envious. And now you're going to have a new position, right?
Right.
You want to just mention it briefly?
Director of Sales Training.
Which will
mean that I'll get to travel to all the stores and have an impact on the entire company in terms of selling and how we sell and how we meet our customers and how hopefully we'll increase ESPs, units per transaction, and everything, and still get a chance to bother those people in telemarketing and customer and CR.
You're going to do great. One of the things I really believe is that we've done a better job of creating catalog sales the past year because we really applied a lot of sales techniques to getting calls in on the phone. And one of my really pet peeves nowadays, and I want to reinforce this to you as you go out and visit with the stores also, is I really think it's so important that we create the aura in the corporate culture that we treat our customers with a lot of upfront courtesy. To me, that means that when people come in our stores, or when they call us on the telephone, or when they talk to a CR rep, when they talk to any of us in the corporate office, whether it's the front desk, or whether it's a buyer meeting a vendor, or whether it's any of you dealing with any outside people, I want them to think that we are the most polite, most courteous, most responsive group of people. In the end, we can have whatever policies we decide to have when it comes to payments, returns, whatever. I'm not talking about the policies. I'm talking about the demeanor and the attitude that we project to outsiders. You have done a lot of work this year to get our telemarketing people up to where we are, I believe, being more enthusiastic, more polite, being able to say, may I have that number, please, or thank you, sir, or yes, ma'am. That is so important to me, and I promise you it will pay us dividends over the long term. It's just like when people talk about how much they appreciate Nordstrom's for having such a great corporate culture, or how much they respect Disney, because when you go to Disney, everybody's attitude is so, up and positive and terrific. And I want our company to have that one extra shining accolade that we project, just a great attitude. I don't mean rampant enthusiasm necessarily. I mean politeness and courtesy, so that people come away saying, wow, that is really a nice group of people, and I really like doing business with them. And every one of us has this type of opportunity, because all of us at some point encounter some outside person, whether it's a customer, a vendor, a service relationship. So now as you go out to the stores, we'll keep working on that. We've always done it, but if we don't keep talking about it and we don't keep reinforcing it, then we'll slowly lower its priority in our ranks. So I do believe that one of the reasons we're doing a better catalog this year is because you've been working with these people so closely. And I also believe one of the reasons, just one more of the reasons, we're going to do well in stores this year is that Michael's going to go out, he's going to visit with people, he's going to conduct seminars, he's going to give demonstrations, and everybody will just come away from meeting with you, and they'll just be a little bit more enthusiastic, a little bit more polite, a little bit more into what we're doing, a little bit more, revved up about the products. And just, when you think about it, a 1% increase in our store sales is roughly, what, $1.7 million of business? That's incredible, just a 1% increase. And yet I can't believe that you can't travel our stores for the next year and our telemarketing group and get a 1% increase in sales. You might get a 2% increase in sales. It's absolutely incredible. So, congratulations on your new position. Thank you. Thank you. Great. And just to finish up on this question, do I think that, the card actually says, do I believe, it says it wasn't answered at the last meeting. Do you believe that your employees are your equal? Truthfully, honestly, no. We all have different strengths. We're all different. We all have different roles. There's a lot of things Greg Alexander can do in the MIS department I could never do. Right? You've told me that many times. So, obviously, we all have our own roles and our own strengths, and each of us has something unique to contribute. I'm just going to keep pressing the point forward. This is going to be a terrific fourth quarter for us. Next year is going to be a terrific year for us. I need each of you to contribute that different thing that you do, and I need you to do it as well as you've ever done it before, and hopefully better. Thanks.
This is another one. I believe one good turn deserves another. Thus, I would like to express my most sincere thanks to the assistant manager of your store at 4 West 57th Street in New York, Mr. Fred King. Recently, I purchased a palm-top computer and had a lot of difficulty with it, but all throughout my ordeal, I won't get into it here, Mr. King constantly reassured me of your return policy and even had some suggestions for fixing the problem. Well, approximately 10 days after my purchase, I did take it back to Mr. King, who cheerfully credited my account for the full purchase price. I cannot tell how grateful I am to Mr. King. Not only was he totally sympathetic, but very cordial, courteous, and extremely professional. I must have called the store several times to seek his advice, and he was just great. If we can get all of our associates to perform as Fred did in a sale or a return, we will accomplish what Richard was talking about in terms of having that kind of customer service attitude for each one of our transactions. I can assure you, this letter finishes up, I can assure that the next time I make a big purchase, I'll make sure I visit Fred and or one of your stores. It is your return policy and people like Mr. King that make the word quality mean something. Just one final letter. And this I brought along because it talks about the level of commitment that our associates have in the stores, and we have very many long-term associates. Dear Richard, I have been shopping at your Biltmore store since 1989. Biltmore is the Phoenix store. We're one of the few companies that calls our stores by the city it's in and not by the center. I have never been so pleased with the store service as I have with your store. It's just great. 3 exclamation points. 2 employees in particular are just wonderful to do business with. Alan Hutchinson, they had the wrong name, but Alan Hutchinson, who's the store manager, and Robert Gamboa, who's the assistant manager. These 2 employees will do anything to please a customer. I congratulate you on your good judgment and having 2 such capable employees on your staff.
You know, this issue is great, hearing these customer letters of really happy customers. And I think it's all something we all love to hear and desire. Just curious, I want to do a little flash survey here. How many of you have had what you would qualify as really good customer service in a retail store? Raise your hand. Keep those.
Retail stores or others?
Other retail stores. Keep those hands up. Okay. How many of you, keep those hands up, people have raised it, who had good customer service somewhere else. And how many of you have written letters to those stores? Wow, where'd all the hands go? I think it illustrates how few people write a customer letter about how good the service is, but how that is a very small population of the ones that actually write. So we saw it right here. So when we get good customer service letters, that means that there's a much larger population who are getting good customer service, but are a little bit lazy like you guys who don't write. And I would love to measure our performance of customer service by the number of good letters we get as opposed to the number of bad letters we get. I mean, occasionally we get a bad letter, but I think it's great to see how many great letters you get and measure your customer service, because we will know that that population is a lot larger than just the letters that we get. So I think it's we want to share these with you because there's a lot of good things going on in the stores. Well, speaking of good things going on, we want to recognize some of the good things that have gone on in the company in the last 3 months, and this is the portion of the program where we have our second quarter awards. So Richard and I are going to recognize first the Associate of the Quarter for the Distribution Center.
The Distribution Center's Associate of the Quarter is Tamara Henry, a telemarketing associate in the Little Rock call center. She's been with us since September of '96. She's recognized because she's a great team player and contributed to the overall effort at Little Rock. Her supervisor, Debbie Smith, said the following: Tamara meets regularly her statistical goals, such as sales productivity and average talk time. One of her best attributes is her mature approach to the job, her thoroughness, her ability to accept change. Boy, that's something that's hard to do, huh? She has kept a positive attitude in the face of the recent additions of customer service calls to her job responsibilities. The Management Selection Committee at the DC agreed with Debbie's nomination that Tamara is an excellent, well-rounded associate who is an asset to the call center effort and to the distribution center overall. She also freely pitches in to help other departments and co-workers at the DC while consistently keeping a smile and a good attitude. So, if you're overburdened in your department, I suggest you call this woman and get her to help you. Tamara, congratulations.
This is the award for the top comp sales performance in stores, and this is just a great success story. This store had a 19.9% increase for the second quarter, which is just fabulous. Its total sales were $503,000, which was $83,000 over last year. And this award goes to the Newport Beach store with store manager Peter Martin. And I think that's just a great performance. And I want to just talk a little bit about Peter, because that's a great success story. Peter joined the Sharper Image in February 1994 as a sales associate in the Redondo Beach store. 1994, 3 years ago. And he was promoted very quickly to a senior sales position. In June of 1995, he was promoted to a first assistant, excelled again, and then was promoted to a store manager in Newport Beach in 1996. And today we're recognizing Peter for the top comp store performance for the second quarter. And I think that is just a fabulous track record and a fabulous performance and a great success story. So, congratulations.
And this is the Associate of the Quarter Award in Merchandising. The recipient of the award is Team 4, which is Dulce Marino and Maylene Lee. Congratulations. Sales were ahead of plan by 4%. Margin dollar sales were up by 5%. Inventory levels on target. You managed an in-stock rate of 97%, which is way above our company average right now. That's absolutely terrific. You both distinguished yourselves in the last 2 years as recipients of the Associate of the Year Award in Merchandising. And Maylene also won the Store Service Award for 96 at the store manager meeting. So we also want to congratulate Dulce, who just got recently promoted to the position of buyer. That's really great, Dulce. You're doing a terrific job, and both you and Maylene deserve a lot of commendation. Thank you.
Okay, now our last award is Associate of the Quarter for the corporate office. And we're going to do something very special. We're going to have a live remote. That's what our telephone is here for.
Hello?
Hello, Ron? Ron? Hello?
Yeah?
Are you awake? Ron? This is Barry and Richard at the Sharper Image.
Hello?
Ron? Are you there?
Yeah.
We're here in San Francisco. We just thought we'd call and say hello.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Ron, I'm sorry if we're interrupting. We do apologize. We're actually in our quarterly meeting with about 150 people listening to the phone call. So we do apologize for calling, but we have a surprise we want to call you with.
Okay.
Ron, the reason we're calling is that we wanted to recognize you as the Associate of the Quarter for the corporate office.
Oh, great.
So congratulations, everybody.
Yeah.
Ron, I'm going to speak to the group here if you don't mind. Ron won this award because he was recognized by Tracy and the group for an outstanding commitment and performance in the second quarter. Tracy writes, Ron is always willing to help other associates in answering financial questions and preparing analyses. Recently, during the 2-month period when we were without our controller, Ron sacrificed his vacation plans in order to meet a project deadline. So obviously he's finally getting his vacation.
And when the poor guy finally goes on vacation,
What do we do? We call him. Ron has consistently given high quality of work and constant dedication as a self-starter and motivated to do a great job. So, Ron, we just wanted to share this with you. Hope it's not bothering you. And live from Seattle, our award winner, Ron Inuzuka.
So Ron, do you want to say anything?
Well, I'm certainly surprised. I believe there's a lot of other people that are much more deserving than myself, and I also like to have to thank my staff who make me look so good and work so hard to support me, as well as Tracy and her leadership and her mentorship, as well as Karen as well. So I just like to say thanks a lot for everything, and wish you all luck.
Okay.
Ron, thank you so much. And again, I'm sorry for the interruption. Tracy said you could take an extra 10 minutes of vacation time.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
As you can see, there are a tremendous amount of exciting developments that are going to stimulate and propel sales for the September-October period and into the fourth quarter. The store managers will be out in the San Francisco area next week for the annual store managers meeting. We will go over products, display, selling programs, customer service in terrific detail for the store managers, and with a lot of materials for them to take back into the store to infuse you with the sales excitement and a customer service aura that we want to see in your store. Remember, every customer is important, and your ability to represent the Sharper image in a way that makes that customer feel special will create additional sales for your store. We'll talk to you after the store managers meeting. Good luck and good selling.